Hey, my people, let's just have a relaxed talk after work, right? Yeah. See, I wanna talk to you about my practical spirituality. This is my approach to spirituality. So, if you like to listen to people, to gurus, to people, to have. What is this? No, that's okay, that's human nature. If you like to listen to people who tell you fantastic stories of things that you cannot do and not apply immediately, feel free to do this. But I only want to talk about things that you can use and feel immediately, okay? I am not talking, and I will not repeat all the beautiful things that some people offer you or talk about. I tell you, they talk about, okay? I call it they talk about. But I do stubbornly and confidently only believe in things that I can do and apply and feel immediately. And this is practical spirituality. See, we all come from a naive state. We are born naked and naive. If we are not the, all-knowing Wunderkind, indigo child, whatever, we are born naked and naive, which means that we do have certain idea already of everything. When I'm talking about spirituality, I mean my naive approach. My first nature, of course, is philosopher. So I was just a person who was very interested in the world and observing and learning, and also enjoyed to look for, philosophy means the love of wisdom, right? And this was my first nature. And in spirituality, my naive mode was simply feeling connected and loving. Love. Love is the connection to anything and to nature, in this case, of spirituality. For me, the naive first nature mode. Yeah, my first nature is philosopher, but if I'm talking about spirituality, it means simply being connected with nature, with the cosmos, with everything, with where I'm coming from, with, I am part of nature and nature is part of me. I am coming from nature and I belong to nature, okay? Even though we live in completely artificial environments, which also leads to mental health problems in today's society, of course, We feel alienated because look at the walls. This is not a natural thing. It's not stone or clay or wood. It's something strange. And the ground, the floor is something different. Everything is artificial. So we feel like aliens, even though we're part of nature. If we being next to rock solid stone or wood or something that we intuitively know, then we would feel much more at home in our homes. Anyway, practical spirituality. Yeah, and it evolved a little bit into a deeper understanding, or simply the view change, because when you grow in the world, you already have everything. The problem is that other people make you doubt it, and you need to develop the confidence and self-esteem to simply understand and know that everything that you have already felt from the beginning is very, very true. And a lot of people are very, very confused and they tried to convince you of other things. And the school system today is a blessing. It's good. We need education. We need the basics, of course, of reading, writing, calculating, stuff like that. But the school system also destroys a lot, or no, it hinders a lot of development, especially trusting in your intuition and in your feelings, because we get conditioned to work in a certain psychological and brain in a certain brain state. Our brain gets conditioned to calculate, strategize, and this is a certain dimension, but there are other dimensions, and there are dimensions above it. Yeah, and we human beings are very similar in the way our body looks and works. Let's say looks, you know, 2 legs, 2 arms, 1 head, 2 eyes, all these things, but the way our brain works is very different. The way our psyche is set up is very different. Especially, of course, also when we're talking about narcissists and people with antisocial personality disorders or other disorders, their brain, the inside world, the spiritual world of them is completely different, okay? So we say, this is a human, this is a human, this is a human, we are all the same, we all have the same bodies. But if we would see the shape our brain works, we would say, oh, this is another thing, this is something else. Okay, we are very different in this, from this perspective. And spirituality also only works, in my opinion, the way I am talking about, if your psyche has the necessary programs running, the necessary capacities. Unfortunately, I do not have the architecture of the brain right now in my mind present, but we have different layers. We have that very old reptile brain, which works in every human being. It makes us breathe, it makes the heartbeat, and it also is responsible for certain basic emotions like hate, like the fight and flight stuff, very basic things that work in every human being. But we have the second layer that is also needed in our school system, the calculating, strategizing, talking, writing thing. And we have even a higher one, a higher layer. And this does not necessarily have to work for every person. Yeah, and love is such an important emotion and basic idea, and this is also very different from person to person. And it is, of course, very important what you have experienced in your early childhood. If you know what, trusting people who trust in the universe, who trust in love, who have virtues, principles, and moral and ethics, and feel like the narrow path is the right way, even though other people might have short-term rewards for being strategic and calculating, but it is actually a higher level to not be strategic and calculating in certain situations. But of course you have to add this. Once you get abused too much, you can add this to your loving, intuitive, open, virtuous way as a kind of self-protecting system. But it is actually the higher system is being virtuous and moral and having ethics, Yeah, so this higher brain function, which is, I think, well, now I'm getting into a topic where I'm not so, because I'm not prepared. I'm absolutely not prepared for this. I think the hypothalamus and the hypocortex, probably this brain region right here, the newest brain region. Also, consciousness is very new in the history of the development of the brain, and all these things are, it's kind of the latest development in technology, in biological evolution technology, and it is not activated, unlocked in every individual the same. And it's very new. So this is necessary for spirituality, trust and love in the universe, feeling connected. And I think you cannot really fake that. You have it or you don't. Okay? But also dreaming goes into that, hoping. I mean dreaming at night and dreaming in the daytime. And also the kind of fantasy dreaming when you talk to somebody and you develop an idea of how something could be better. That is a creative process. And this is all, where does it come from? Where does a great idea come from? Isn't that great? Isn't that amazing? So I also feel that spirituality, and my practical spirituality, is about wandering, being a wanderer, and just wondering how things work. And then you get ideas. And it's almost as if you can extract wisdom from reasoning over observations. Yes, this means tapping into a source of wisdom. It means using your brain to understand complex situations. Okay, I want to leave it here. I know that the attention span is not very long, and we already have 12 minutes in. I think I will make another part, but now I gave you that very, very basic understanding of what I'm talking about when I talk about spirituality. And what I want to bring you is a spirituality that is completely stripped from anything esoteric or anything that somebody teaches you and you have to believe it because you cannot immediately do it yourself. No, I want to give you something, you feel it, and I tell you, you have it or you don't. If you don't have it, you don't have to try it. You don't have it then. But if you feel at times connected to the beautiful nature, to the cosmos, when the sun is rising or the sun is setting, or you see, suddenly it happens that you feel very immersed in a wonderful situation or natural situation, or you are dreaming in the daytime or in the nighttime, no matter what, or you are praying or you're meditating. All these things is spirituality. Okay? I also claim that having ethical and moral, have ethics and moral and virtues, and believing in this right way and pursuing it over decades and never doubting it, always staying on the same track. This is the basics for spirituality. If you don't have it, you don't have it. And you can not go to the shop and build it up in 1 week or so. No, it's there or it's not there. One love, trust in the universe, because she is there for you.